Hi, this is Dave from Rise Analytics, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use Salesforce's data loader to easily insert new records and update existing ones. If you don't have the data loader, you can download it within Salesforce. If you click your name and go to Setup, on the left hand side, if you're an administrator, underneath Data Management, there's an option for data loader. If you click that, you'll be given a link to download the data loader. So I've got that up and open, and you can see there's a couple options here. You can insert new records, update existing records, upsert, which is a combination of inserting new records and updating existing records. You can delete records, export and export all records. Today I'm going to be upserting records, but before I do that, I want to export my records so I can work with the data I already have in Excel, make the edits in Excel, and then load the data back into Salesforce. So I click that, and I'm prompted to log in. To log in, you enter your username, and then your password is a little bit different here. It's your password followed by a security token. If you don't have your security token, you can get that within Salesforce. You'll just go under My Personal Information and Setup, hit Reset My Security Token, and then there's a button. Click that and your security token will be emailed to you. I've already got my security token, so I'm just going to hit Login. Login complete. Hit Next. Today I'm going to be working with accounts. So I'll choose the account object. It asks you which file you want to export your data to. I go into the file name, hit Next. So I'm overwriting an existing file, no problem. The next screen will ask you which fields you want to export. The ID is the primary key, and it's going to allow you to match the data you upload back into Salesforce to the existing data, so you definitely want to choose that. I want the account name. I'm going to choose the billing city and state as well because I'm going to be updating cities and states today. You can also filter by field. So for example, I could filter by, say, state and only look at my accounts in California, but I'm going to export all my data today. Hit Finish. It tells you you're exporting. That's good. Hit Yes. And it'll give you some results to your export. I had 13 successful extractions and no errors, so that's good. You can view the extraction. It shows me the records. And then at the bottom there's a link to open in an external program. That's where you're going to edit the data. So I'll hit that. For me, that's going to open it in Excel. For you, probably as well, but you may have another spreadsheet software. So I've got my records here. Let me just make them easier to read. And so the first thing I'm going to do is add a couple new accounts. So it's as simple as entering the data into Excel. So I'm just going to enter some new information. I'm entering the name, city, and state. You can leave the ID blank. Salesforce will automatically assign that when it inserts these new records. I'm also going to update the city on these other records that didn't have one. And I could actually go ahead and change some of the other cities as well. I'll just change one of them. So I've made my changes. Save that file. I'm going to close down Excel now. Saving it. Alright, so I'm done with that. Okay. Back to the main data loader screen. And so now it's time to upsert the records, which is going to be update the changes I made and insert those new records I added. I'll hit the account record, and then ask you to choose the file. So I'm just going to choose that file that I just worked with. Hit Next. Summary operation will contain 15 records, 2 more than before, which means it's clearly recognizing the 2 records I added. Hit OK. It's going to ask you to choose a field for matching. I'm going to match on ID because I'm just using account data. There are instances where you could map to external IDs if you're working with multiple objects, but this is a simple case here. Hit Next. And now it's going to ask you for your mapping. So what it does is it gives you the 4 headers in your CSV Excel file, and then you're going to choose which fields in Salesforce map to those 4 field labels. So I clicked Create Mapping. I didn't make any changes to the field name, so it's pretty simple. Billing city should map to billing city in Salesforce. Billing state, same idea. ID, it's the same mapping. And name is also mapping to name. Now, I mean, this is useful if you're importing an Excel file that may have different labels. You may not have just exported from Salesforce and then be importing back in. Hit OK. Then I'll hit Next. It asks you for a directory to save successes and error files. I'll just leave that to default. Finish. Gives me a warning before I proceed. I hit yes. So it tells me again 15 successful upserts and no errors. I'll view the successes. I see 15 records. I see there's 2 new ones. You can see IDs have been assigned to those records. And over to the right, it's going to tell you status, whether an item was updated or created. To created, everything else is updated. Even though I didn't make changes, it's going to consider those updates. I see my new city state that I changed for those 2 records. I can close that now. Okay. Now the last thing to do is to just go into Salesforce and check on those accounts. Make sure everything's updated the way it should have been. Okay, so I'm going to first go to my new accounts to find those 2 new records, and they're right there. The billing state. City's not showing up on this display, but we can click in just to check on it. I'm seeing the city, so that is good. Go back to accounts, and let's see. Here we go. Here's one where I updated the city, and that's there, so everything looks good. So that was a quick demo of how to use the data loader. I hope it was helpful. If you'd like any more Salesforce help, please check us out at riseanalytics.com. You can give us a call at 646-480-7012 or email us at info@riseanalytics.com. Thanks and have a great day.